The UINDY Greyhounds taking on the Maryville Saints. My name is Caden Colford. I'm here with Jace Hodge, and today we have another GLVC matchup. We're in the midst of the basketball season, right, and also in the midst of GLVC conference play. And we've seen so many fun games, so many high-intensity games between these teams of men and women's basketball. So, Jace, my question to you today is, what is the difference between these GLVC conference games and just a regular season matchup?
So when you see a GLVC game, it's always more aggressive because, those non-conference games you play, the teams of varying, talents. But when you get to the GLVC, you know what kind of teams you're playing. You play them time and time again, so they'll always be more aggressive and they're more important come the end of the season.
And you talked about how you see these teams over and over again in the season. You start to pick up on patterns, stuff like that. And this Maryville Saints team is very familiar with this UINDY Greyhound team, right? They played earlier this season. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, so they played earlier this year in December, and Maryville did take that win 88-83 in a high-scoring affair at St. Louis. So we'll see if UINDY can, get the upset today.
And that kind of just adds to the up and downs that UINDY's kind of experienced. But as we get into the game here, it should be another close matchup in the GLVC conference. Well, and as we get into the game, they're starting to announce starting lineups. So, first, for the opposing Maryville Saints, it'll be number 2, Antoinette Musarisi alongside Taylor Kirby. Carson Fearday, Hayden Pitch, and in the middle is Hunter Stidham, standing at 5'10". Now, for the UINDY Greyhounds, number 1, Sadie Hill, number 3, Caroline Jakaitis, number 14, Alani Williams-Harris, number 23, Jody Mullins, and number 4, a newcomer, Patricia Chikamba. Jace, this is another starting lineup, so we see a more traditional lineup than we're seeing from Mark Mitchell.
Definitely more traditional, but still Chikamba in there. She started her first game of the season and the game on Saturday in their win. She didn't play that much in the game, but she did start that game, so we see her once again, and she did join the team at the end of December.
I mean, this is only her 3rd and 4th game playing with the Greyhounds, and they've thrown her right into the swing of things, and I'd say she's adapting pretty well.
She definitely has been. Mitchell's putting his trust in her so far as early in her career.
And as we get going, it will be the Saints that take the tip. It's with Antoinette Musarisi as she runs her offense, and they waste no time getting it down to the post, and Taylor Kirby. She finds Carson Fearday on the right wing, who takes her defender to the middle, goes under the basket, and then she found Taylor Kirby, who drives right at this UINDY defense, draws the foul. Aggressive first possession for the Saints.
Yeah, and you can tell already that ball movement is going to cause UINDY problems all night long. They are very good at moving the ball around and finding the open shooter.
And you were telling me before the game, there's a lot of experience on this Saints team. I think you can tell just from that first possession, they play really well together.
They definitely do, and 3 of their 5 starters today are seniors. And one of those being Antoinette Musarisi, who is 3-time All-GLVC second team and was also a unanimous freshman honoree in her freshman year.
But the Greyhounds escaped that time. It's Taylor Kirby missing 2 free throws. Lonnie Williams-Harris takes it the other way. Now it's Jody Mullins going right into a bigger defender, but gets her cookies taken by number 32, Hunter Stidham.
And turnovers were a problem early in the season for the Hounds, and there we go again from the turnover.
And they're right back at it. Carson Fearday with the points off turnovers right there.
Yeah, Fearday saw her spot, pulled it up.
And you can hear this Saints team. They're loud on defense. Usually a trademark of the Greyhounds, but they're letting the Hounds hear it today.
Yeah, you can see that bench over there clapping up a storm, trying to cause some problems on communications for the Greyhounds.
And that shot was put up in the corner by Patricia Chikamba. And there was a foul called while both teams were scrambling for the rebound. Foul called on the Saints that time, so the Greyhounds will have a second chance. And they get to Jody Mullins on the right block. She goes right up into her defender, but she did switch her pivot. That'll no doubt be called to travel there. 2 costly turnovers really quick here.
Yeah, definitely, and on both of their first 2 possessions, you saw they got the ball right into Mullins and let her back down her defender. And she's a guard, so you don't usually see a guard, constantly backing down a defender in the paint.
Now the Saints looking to score once again. Hayden Pitch with Jody Mullins on her. She's at the top of the key. She found Fearday. Fearday got it down to Kirby. And it's a 2-man action back to Fearday. She put it up at the rebound, secured by Hunter Stidham. And it's Fearday putting up her second shot of the possession, and that one's no good. Caroline Jakaitis with the rebound, and it will be Alani Williams-Harris setting up the Hounds for hopefully their first points of the game.
And some good defensive pressure there by the Hounds, staying right up on their defenders, not allowing any easy shots.
And taking a look at the Hounds through 4 quarters, the first quarter is oftentimes their worst quarter of the game, their third being their best. So you got to think Mark Mitchell would love to see a hot start here. And off the missed shot, the Hounds will have a second chance. Jody Mullins resets. She uses a Sadie Hill screen, but it was Hayden Pitch getting called for the foul. Jody Mullins caught her body as she went left.
Yeah, and that Sadie Hill 3 from the top of the key has been something we've seen from her the last few games, where she just pulls up 1 3 from top of the key, and she usually always knocks it down, but there we saw she couldn't knock it down there, but a rebound was corralled by Jakaitis.
And here's Jakaitis as she gets it to Mullins on the right wing. Pick and roll action, they get it down to Jakaitis. She goes up left-handed, almost went in off the front of the rim, but will come out. And it's Musa Risi. She's being trapped by Lonnie Williams-Harris and Jakaitis, but she works out of it. Now it's Hunter Stidham in the corner, and that one's just short. Jody Mullins picks it up, takes it the other way.
And Stidham is one of their better three-point shooters. She led the team in three-pointers last year.
Sadie Hill faces up her defender, goes right into her, and a great recovery there from Hunter Stidham. Not easy to do as you're falling over to knock the ball out of bounds.
You can tell so far the Hounds are having some trouble getting their usual looks, inside the paint, or whether it be an open three. Just really haven't been there so far due to the pressure from the Maryville defense.
Got it into Jakaitis, now to Jody Mullins, and it's not often you hear a team louder than the Greyhounds with more energy, but that's exactly what we're seeing from the Saints here today. As Jakaitis got her throughout the pick and pop, but once again it's short. As the Saints push it up, great fast break, but Jakaitis gets back, sends it back. Great block, great defensive play, great recovery.
Yeah, that was a great recovery. You took the words right out of my mouth there. Jakaitis missed the three, but did not really care there. Got right back on defense and got the block to prevent the easy bucket for Maryville.
Saints look to inbound. It's with Abby Weiss as she makes her first minutes of the game. She throws up a three, wastes no time, but that's no good. Rebound secured by Chikamba.
And that was a strong rebound there. I'm sure Mark Mitchell is telling his team about rebounding, as it's been a constant problem this year.
Sadie Hill, pump faked at the top of the arc. Jody Mullins uses her screen, but picks up her dribble, nowhere to go. They get it down to Hill. Hill was looking for a cutting Jakaitis, wasn't there. Alani Williams-Harris will instead pull up for three and mark that as the first points of the game for the Greyhounds.
And it also gives the Hounds the first lead. So we've seen a very defensive battle, much unlike the game earlier this year between these two teams, in which it was a very high-scoring battle.
Now it's Musa Risi. She gets it to the corner, and Abby Weiss. Abby Weiss puts up her own three, and that one's no good. Two quick rebounds there, secured by Patricia Chikamba. Now it's to Sadie Hill. Alani Williams-Harris couldn't handle the high pass from Sadie Hill, and it's Musa Risi taking it right at Harris. She dishes it off to Taylor Kirby as she puts it in. Great fast break, but another costly turnover. An early story here for the Hounds.
Yeah, it sure has been. That was an easy 3-on-1 for the Saints. You can't really mess that up. Often see teams mess the 3-on-1 break up.
And the trap gets to Jody Mullins. Another turnover. You might think a timeout is in order as Abby Weiss pulls from the corner. No good. Second chance for the Saints, though, as it was Fearday who got the rebound. Ball secured by Taylor Kirby, and a foul called away from the ball.
And you can see so far, due to these turnovers, Maryville's really pushing that pace, which is a game that UINDY usually likes to play.
Now, Alana Wells and Liv Becker check in. They both have seen a lot of playing time this season. A lot have been in and out of the starting lineup. And for the Saints, it's Hayden Pitch coming in for Taylor Kirby. Musa Risi gets it in. It's 22 Riley Mulvaney. And it's Mulvaney. She gets to Weiss, but Weiss kind of dropped the ball there. Now Musa Risi with Wells on her. Wells is a good defender, but she Musarisi ran into Wells and Sadie Hill. Both had their hands up. And getting a look at Coach Mark Mitchell, he's not too happy with the call, and I can understand why.
It seemed like a fairly clean play on the part of the Greyhounds there. But, you know, when there's contact made, there's often going to be a foul called, one way or the other.
Lana Wells did a pretty good job of sticking with her there, just kind of got caught on the side. And when you have the ball as much as Antoinette Musarisi, you kind of get a feel of the defense. And that time she does draw the foul, knocks down her first free throw.
And Musarisi last year ranked 10th in the conference in free throw percentage. And she's even better this year, 84% shooter from the line.
2 for 2 at the stripe. Like you said, a very, very efficient shooter from the line, 84%.
And Musarisi earlier this year had a big game in that win over UINDY, scoring 26 points, and that was her season high this year. So I'm sure that Mark Mitchell put an emphasis on that today to try to shut down Musarisi.
Sadie Hill got it to Mullins. Mullins takes one dribble in, pulls up, but it's off back iron. And they're wasting no time getting it up the floor. It's Riley Mulvaney as she goes right at Liv Becker and Sadie Hill, but it is inevitably stripped by Hill.
A very high energy game so far. Both teams trying to push the pace.
Hill down to Idalise Ortiz. She goes up with the right hand, too strong. Rebound by Weiss. The interior game just hasn't been there for the Hounds as of late.
It's a game that they usually succeed at, very strongly, whether it be Sadie Hill, whether it be Lauren With, who is out today.
And Mulvaney's three was off right. Sadie Hill collects the rebound, and Alana Wells runs the point. And with about 15 left on the shot clock, Alana Wells waits for her team to get in their set. Calls for a screen from Idalise Ortiz and Sadie Hill. Goes right, looks for a rolling Sadie Hill and found her as the shot clock was falling down. Great offense, great patient offense in that scenario.
And that's the look that UINDY's been getting to Sadie Hill all year long. She's sizing up her defender and then rolls past her defender and gets that little over-the-shoulder pass.
And the foul is called on a Saint there. She was moving as she set the screen, and that will be the first timeout of the game. 3:37 left in the first. Saints lead 6-5 here at Nixon Hall.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
We're back here for about the second half of the first period. 6-5, the Greyhounds are leading. And there we get a view at Mark Mitchell. We know it's his first year on the team.
Yeah, it sure is. And he's spent the last 4 seasons at St. Peter's University in Jersey City, New Jersey. And he was the MAAC Coach of the Year in 2021 with St. Peter's.
Solani Williams-Harris. Back to Alana Wells. She goes right into the zone. They get to the corner and Liv Becker, 2 on her, but she finds Alana Wells cross court. Shot wasn't meant to be, and it looks like a loose ball foul was called on the Hounds.
And UINDY, they found their look there. They found Alana Wells right open there at the top of the key for the open 3, but she just couldn't knock it down, unfortunately, which she shoots about 30% on the year, which is not too bad from behind the arc.
That's a look that you want to get, though. Keep looking for that if you're the Hounds. Great shot, didn't fall. Now it's the Saints as they commit a turnover as it looks, but not from the view of the referee. We are staying in the way of the Saints, but still nonetheless great defense from the Hounds.
I'm still waiting for UINDY to bring that full court pressure that they're so known for in these last few games that they've played. They bring that pressure, and it constantly causes problems for the other team.
Here's the Saints. They go right at Sadie Hill. Mark that down as Hunter Stidham. Alana Wells. See, one thing about this Saints team, they're throwing a zone and then they're throwing mans. They're kind of switching up looks and making it really hard on the UINDY offense.
It definitely causes chaos on the UINDY offense, trying to figure out how to break down each specific, whether it be the zone, whether it be the man.
And we see it's working right here. They almost forced one more turnover as Alana Wells looked to find Idalise Ortiz on the opposite block, just kind of about 2 feet away from its mark. Hard to handle, Idalise Ortiz. However, will stick with the Hounds.
Because UINDY, teams call their plays based off what kind of defensive matchups they have here. When you keep switching up from man to zone, it causes problems.
And Sadie Hill, as time expires on the shot clock, went right up into her defender with the right hand and got it to fall.
And that's just classic Sadie Hill, going right into the defender, no care for size or anything. Just goes right into any defender that is in her way.
UINDY brought the pressure here, but the Saints break it. It's Kirby who had the ball, threw it off the side of the backboard. She gets it to Stidham, and Stidham knocks it down from the top of the key.
And that's Stidham's game, shooting the 3 ball. Like I mentioned earlier, she led the team in 3-point percentage last year.
More second chance points from the Saints. Now it's with Liv Becker in the corner. She pulls, but it's too strong. Alana Wells races the ball, wasn't there. Saints on the break. And they go right at Sadie Hill. Shot missed by number 15, Carson Fearday. And now they slow it down. Alana Wells has Fearday on her. She pulls back, goes baseline. Alani Williams-Harris for 3, and she knocks it down. That's her second triple of the game. A lot of times Alani Williams-Harris, I know she'll take a 3 towards the beginning of the game. If she makes it, she'll keep shooting. If she misses, we don't see a lot of 3-point scoring from her. But nonetheless, she makes 2 here.
And what we see from her often, she gets that, she goes in the defender and a quick step back 3, and she knocks those down time and time again. One of the nastiest moves you'll see out there.
Now it's Musa Reese, drives right past Sadie Hill, went up on Alana Wells, drew the foul, and got the and one.
And that's one of the reasons why she is 3-time GLVC second team. She does that time and time again, goes right into the defender, does not care about her size, even though she only sits at 5'6", but, right there going at Idalise Ortiz, who is, like 5 inches taller than her. Musa Reese does not care.
It takes a lot of creativity around the rim when you're the size that Musarini is. I'm going up against taller defenders, like you said. It takes a lot of creativity, takes some great footwork as well, but she has both. It's Alani Williams-Harris. She fakes right, gets it to Liv Becker. Idalise Ortiz wants the ball. She does get it. Pulls up from about 15 feet, just hits front rim and rolls over. Now Musarini once again goes right at Wells and puts it right in. Big body move.
And yet again, she's going right at the Hounds like she did in the first meeting between these two teams in December. One of the problems it caused for the Hounds in that eventual loss at Maryville.
Saints brought a trap on Alana Wells. Wells got to Idalise Ortiz in the high post, but a foul was called on the pass. Give the foul to Faith Hawthorne of the Saints. Liv Becker's in. And Wells takes it back out. Musarini's on her. No shortage of energy on the defensive end with as much effort as she puts in on the offense. It's Wells back out to Ortiz. Pump fakes, goes left. Spins through the middle of the lane. But a travel was called by the sideline official. I mean, that really is a judgment call. You see
that spin move there must have got her, I think. I think she took one extra step while converting that spin.
A lot of times we don't see that call. It probably was a travel, but a bang-bang play nonetheless. Here's Fearday, now to Musarini. As with 6 on the clock, she puts up a free throw line extended jumper. That one hits nothing. Ultimately went off the Saints. Greyhounds might have one chance to put up a bucket with 3 seconds left in the first.
And I'm sure they would love to do so, get some momentum going in the second quarter. You will be on the losing end heading into the quarter, but a 3 right here would not hurt.
With the last second on the clock, she has yet to put up a shot, and time will expire. As the end of the first comes to be, it is 16-10. Saints are leading the Greyhounds in Indianapolis as we go to break here on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
You got Tennessee, Georgia.
Georgia, easily, man.
Come on, Tennessee's 8.5-point dogs. Easiest spread of all time.
How?
Because they're good, and Georgia's played nobody.
At least Georgia has a defense.
Oh, come on. You're an IU fan. Your opinion doesn't matter.
My opinion doesn't matter. The only thing you know as a Purdue fan is how to lose to a 15 seed in the March Madness tournament.
We're bowl eligible, my guy. Are you? Make sure to tune in to Last Call Monday nights. We'll talk about Division I football, give you plenty of UINDY sports, some interviews in there as well, and then plenty of pro sports, whether it be NFL, MLB, the whole shebang.
Yeah, and there's at least one guy that knows what he's talking about.
Here we go, back here in Indianapolis. Saints lead 16-10 as we start the second. Once again, we look into the huddle. I had the opportunity to interview Jada Lake in their past win against Missouri St. Louis. I'm so that is, and she's really a character. She's really funny. After the game, we came back. They just held off a team after having them down by 10, 15 points the entire game. We asked her, what's game day like for the Greyhounds? She said, it's lit. So far, it hasn't been super lit today. They're down by 6, but they look to get back into it. It's Alani Williams-Harris pulling for 3 at the top of the key, and she knocks it down. And we're going to talk about someone that's lit. It's Alani Williams-Harris right now. She has 3 points, or 3 3-pointers, that is, on the day. She's on fire.
And Williams-Harris definitely on her game today, and a good block there by Jada Patton.
We'll stay with the Saints, like you said. Great recovery by Patton, as it looks like the Saints had a promising break there. It's Kirby. Now to Stidham. Now it's Musarini, who has been the leader of this offense the entire day. And pitch with Mullins on her. She picks up her dribble. Musarini crosses back on Alani Williams-Harris, but Alani Williams-Harris is right there. Great defense. Musarini tried to draw the foul, was asking for it. Wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, she wanted the foul there. You could tell right after she went down to the floor, looking right at the ref, hands up, like why didn't get the foul call? Because it's a foul call she's accustomed to getting because she goes to the line so often.
Alani Williams-Harris looking for 4 in a row. Not there, but Liv Becker taps out to Jody Mullins. And Jody Mullins is called for the loose ball foul as the Saints, along with Mullins, rush to the ball.
It was a tough call on Mullins. Mullins was going right after the ball there, but unfortunately the defender was right in her way just a little bit. You can't really collapse into a defender like that.
And it's one of those plays where something has to be called, right? You can't just have 2 players running into each other, but whoever does get the foul called on them isn't going to be too happy. Mullins in this case. As Musarini dishes it off to Kirby.
Oh.
Looks like she had an open layup, but she misses it.
And Jada Patton, I think, smacked Kirby there across the face. You see the immediate reaction from the crowd.
Kirby's wiping her nose. There might be a stoppage here.
I don't think there was no intent behind it, but hit her in the face nonetheless.
And it looks like they called a foul on the rebound instead of the shot going up, so they won't go to the line. Now Kirby takes Idalise Ortiz to the middle, puts it up, and a foul called on Idalise Ortiz. That sends Kirby to the line. She had 2 free throws earlier today, missed both of those.
And Kirby, a 65% shooter on the year. So those 2 misses, she does it here and there, but not too often from her. And Kirby was the only player on this team to start every single game last year, and she has also started every single game this year. So, she's used to this team and how it's run.
And we can see with as much as she has the ball in her hands, a key point to the Saints offense. But she does hit her first, make that 1 for 3 on the day. Neither team really has had a great day on offense, both shooting around the 30% mark. As Kirby hits her second 2 for 2 from the line, 2 for 4 on the day.
It's always nice to hit those next 2 shots after you miss the first 2, Good recovery.
Jody Mullins with 2 defenders on her. Now Alani Williams-Harris to Liv Becker in the corner. She pulls, and that one's good. We saw her miss the first, but she's right around the 50% mark from 3, which is incredible. Wasn't expecting her to miss that one, and sure enough, she did not.
We've seen that play a few times now today, that get the ball into the corner and let someone shoot it up.
Here it is. It was Fear Day for the Saints that put up the shot on the left wing and got it to fall. They fire back with a 3 of their own.
And you didn't want to leave her open. He was the 3rd leading scorer on this team last year and 3rd leading scorer on this team this year once again. A natural-born scorer.
UINDY getting the ball back and forth. It's Mullins and Harris to each other. Now Jakaitis fires across court to Becker, looking for 2 in a row. 2 quick threes it is for Liv Becker.
And now we're seeing some offensive fireworks here at Nickerson Hall.
The three-pointer has been a pretty solid weapon for the Hounds this season. Some great shooters on the team. And it's Fear Day putting up her 10-foot jumper. Gets the shooter's roll off the front of the rim.
Like I said, she's a natural-born scorer.
Now the Greyhounds, they picked up some momentum. It's Mullins here on Fear Day. As she goes through 2 defenders, finds Alani Williams-Harris in the middle, but she ran into a brick wall, and Taylor Kirby lost the ball there.
Yeah, Kirby was sitting there waiting for her to go right into her.
And how about that?
That speed of Musarisi just got right past every single defender. No one could keep up with her.
I was very, very, very shocked to see Musarisi just go right up on Sadie Hill. I thought for sure she was going to pull it back or dish it off, but she does not, and she gives her team a 6-point lead as we take a timeout here from Nickerson Hall.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
We are back on. 6-point lead held by the Saints at the moment with 7 left here in the second. Me and Jace were just talking. We have 2 of the best in the GLVC facing off today. It was just Antoinette Musarisi that went up on UIndy's Sadie Hill. She's fearless.
She definitely is fearless. You know, Sadie Hill, one of, the most monstrous players in the GLVC, blocks, scoring. She can do it all. She can even shoot from behind the arc, as we've seen time and time again. But Musarisi there did not care. She went right up on Sadie Hill.
And while they aren't guarding each other today, aren't a matchup one-on-one a whole lot. They play different roles. Sadie Hill more plays off the ball, works in the post, gets a lot of easy shots on account of her teammates. While Musarisi is more ball dominant, we see her creating her own shot a lot more. Here's Becker in the corner. The Saints are still bringing the trap up top. They bring it to Mullins now. They try to get to Caroline Jakaitis in the high post. Wasn't there. Sadie Hill had it in the corner. She faked baseline, pulled back, and a foul was called on Musarisi. Just as we said, a lot of these 2 wouldn't be guarding each other. There they were.
Yeah, Sadie Hill went right into Musarisi. You can tell that Sadie Hill wants to, put it back in her face.
Here we go. The Hounds set up their set off the inbounds. Alani Williams-Harris will be the inbounder. And it's Jody Mullins. She goes straight up, right off the inbounds pass, but not there.
And that was a good look for Mullins right there, right up on the basket.
It's Mulvaney taking Jakaitis to the rim. Not there. Now it's Musarisi on Jody Mullins, and she finds Fear Day on the left wing, jabs, then puts it up, and that one falls. Hey, Carson Fear Day is kind of catching fire here.
Carson Fear Day, I said it twice now, but she is a natural-born scorer, and she can score in bunches, and she will, if you leave her open, put it right down.
And she's really looking for her shot now, not trigger shy at all. So Alani Williams-Harris fighting through the trap of these Saints, and there it is. The defense of the Saints has been all over the Hounds all day. However, could not convert on the break. Count Alani Williams-Harris with the steal. Sadie Hill wants the ball down low. Wasn't there. Liv Becker takes her defender to the rim, but she lost the ball. Somehow got it back, found Jody Mullins. She pulls the trigger on a 3. That one's a little bit too strong, and that's Liv Becker. Really good rebounder. And second chance points, give it to Jody Mullins. And Liv Becker, I was just talking about her before the game. She did not see action until the third quarter in their most recent matchup and ended up being the highest rebounder on the team.
Liv Becker, she can rebound the ball really well if she's in there.
And it's really just a testament to the energy that she plays with on both sides, as it was the Saints knocking one down from mid-range there. And she's always chasing after the ball on the floor.
And Liv Becker will never give up on a play. She'll always be right in the middle of the action.
Here she is, trapped in the corner, tried to wrap it around the defense, gets it through. Jody Mullins finds Sadie Hill, and a great pump fake from Sadie Hill. Got Musarisi up in the air, gives her an easy two.
And a nice foul by Mullins, too, to find Sadie Hill, standing open there. And then Sadie Hill saw the defender coming right at her at full speed. Pump fake, gets it right around her.
They weathered the storm that time. This Saints defense has been a nightmare for the Hounds as of today. The Saints throw it up. It was Riley Mulvaney on that one, a little too strong. Alani Williams-Harris looks down. It's Jody Mullins. As she started moving before she caught the ball and really started dribbling. Tough call. And Alana Wells will check in the game for Jody Mullins alongside Jada Patton. And they're starting to really trade blows here. It's a 7-point game, but we're just going back and forth.
Yeah, we've seen the offense open up a little bit more here in the second quarter. Both teams getting some open looks now.
Now it's Fearday controlling the ball for her team as she tried to pass it to Hayden Pitch. She lost it, got it back. And it's Taylor Kirby going up on Liv Becker and Sadie Hill. Pulled it back and tried to find Hayden Pitch for three. I'm not sure what was called on the floor, but the Greyhounds do have the ball. Alana Wells now looking for a double screen from Patton and Hill. She goes right. She pulls back for three at the top of the key, and that one falls. It might be raining here in Nixon Hall.
Yeah, that's already 6 threes made for the Greyhounds today, and that's what they average per game. And we still have 4 minutes left to go in the second quarter.
They have not been hesitant from behind the arc today, to say the least, as Alana Wells bodies up her defender on the defensive side. And the Greyhounds force a turnover. So Alana Wells, my bad, leading the break. She puts it up, easy two. She shows off her speed with that bucket right there. And a timeout will be called by Brita Hand and the Saints, as the Greyhounds will cut it down to just 2 with 3:38 left here in the second. We'll go to break. You're watching UINDY TV in the GLVC Sports Network.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
Back in action, the Hounds just forced a turnover as Alana Wells takes her defender right to the hoop, tried to kick it out to Alani Williams-Harris in the corner, but it was tipped. Possession will stick with the Greyhounds. Alana Wells taking it out.
Everyone started to move over to the other end thinking it was out on Alana Wells there, but the ref there on the baseline said it was tipped.
Sadie Hill has Kirby on her, looking down for Jada Patton. She goes to the middle, puts it up right-handed. Not there, but an offensive rebound by Liv Becker gives this team another shot. Alana Wells went straight into Carson Fearday there, drew the foul. Will they say it was in the shooting motion? And yes, they will. Alana Wells will go to the line.
She's a 72% shooter from the line this year, looking to nail 2 shots to tie the game up once again.
And she hit a couple crucial free throws in their last matchup against UMSL. As time went down, both teams got into the bonus very, very soon. And free throws were a big thing down the stretch. Luckily, that's one thing the Greyhounds really succeed at.
Yeah, the Greyhounds are the best in the GLVC. They're just around 78% from behind the line this year.
And that's an elite number from the stripe. I mean, there's NBA teams, WNBA teams that don't shoot that well.
Yeah.
Here it is, Musarisi leading the offense once again. Wells will guard her.
And the game is tied up once again here at Nickerson Hall, 30-30.
Fearday had it in the paint, but she kicks it out to Abby Weiss, and Abby Weiss knocks down her first 3 of the game. Give her 3 on the day.
And Weiss, you won't see Weiss shoot the ball too often. She only averages 3 a game, so right there matching her, her average.
And Liv Becker down to Jada Patton there. Jada Patton really starting to see some action here in the midst of the season. It's Fearday, faked right, went left, goes up on Sadie Hill, draws a foul, knocks it down. Great crossover and a great move at the basket to convert.
And Fearday has had a great second quarter here so far.
She's tearing it up. I mean, from 3 in the middle. She just has a great sense of space, but even when she doesn't have space, like that shot right there, she has found a way to convert, giving her 12 on the day with a chance to make it 13. However, 13 will not come to be right now. Maya Scheidt checks in for the Hounds.
And a surprise miss from Fearday. She is their best shooter from behind the cherry stripe this year, 85%.
Lana Wells with Musarisi on her. Finds Jada Patton for 3. She hits the top of the backboard. She doesn't shoot a lot of those. I think that's just her 3rd on the year that she has shot. And they try to fire back with a 3 of their own. Not there. After a couple tips, Alana Wells comes up with it. Alana Wells fires a 3 in and out. Wow, I thought it was down.
That ball looked like it was going right in for another Wells 3. Just an unlucky bounce there on the rim.
Musarisi went right at Wells there, draws the foul, will be on the floor. But we will go to the line. Musarisi, 84% on the year. Shows it there, knocks down her first.
And that puts her in double figures for the day with 10 points. So Maryville already has 2 scores in double digits.
She goes 2 for 2, pretty efficient trip at the line. Maya Scheidt, we've seen a lot more of her as the season has gone on. Really a point guard for the second unit. And it was Alana Williams there trying to find Sadie Hill on the opposite block. Wasn't meant to be. I'm pretty sure it was Fearday. They got a hand down and knocked it out of bounds.
Yeah, and Scheidt only seeing her first minute of the game right now. Usually we see her pretty earlier on in the game.
Sadie Hill tried to go up on Kirby. A hand got in there, got the wrist as the referee would see it. That'll send Sadie Hill to the line. Sadie Hill herself is a pretty efficient free throw shooter at 82 on the season.
Yeah, both UINDY and Maryville are really good free throw shooting teams. So if it comes down to free throws, it'll be a very interesting result.
And if you've heard me talk about free throws at all, you know that I feel that they are a very, very crucial part of the game. There's no doubt that this team and head coach Mark Mischel feels the same way, or both of these teams for that matter. I mean, efficiency from the lines usually means to success as time winds down.
Yeah, because one missed free throw, could end up in a loss.
Exactly. It always comes back to bite you. Always look at the score at the end of the game. We'll say, hey, if we hit 2 or 3 free throws here or there, it could be a whole different ball game.
Sure can.
Now moves Arisi. 10 points on the day, or 11, excuse me. She goes right at Chikaitis. Wells push on a Fearday. Fearday gets it to Kirby. She fakes left, went to the baseline, goes up on Chikaitis. Nice reverse layup from her.
And that was a very good reverse layup. Put some extra spin on the ball, too, to make sure that went right down.
Maya Scheidt picked up her dribble with Fearday all over her. Scheidt to Alana Wells. Wells crosses over Fearday, gets it to Becker in the corner. Great pass to find Maya Shine. They fire it right back. Liv Becker, just a little too short, but Caroline Jakaitis gets the offensive rebound. The referee is going to say that Hayden Pitch knocked it off of Caroline Jakaitis' leg. Caroline Jakaitis did not agree with that call. About 30 seconds left in the half here. It hasn't been a back and forth half, as we said a couple times.
In the second quarter here, much more offense going here. It's 24-23 UINDY advantage in the second quarter alone.
Looks like they want to leave as least amount of time as possible for the Greyhounds if they do get it back. It was Hunter Stidham who stepped back, took a three, but the Saints get an offensive rebound. Jump ball's called with 5:08 left in the half. Possession, however, sticks with the Saints. They have one more shot. As it seems, could have put up a quick shot, get an offensive rebound. They've gotten a lot of those today for sure.
Yeah, but overall on the rebounding margin, it's been really close. 18-17 Maryville advantage.
They do get a quick shot off. It was Taylor Kirby. Shot doesn't fall, but she will have two opportunities at the line to extend the lead. Caroline Jakaitis checks out of the game. And with these two, Kirby has the opportunity to extend the lead to 7. She extends it to 6 at the moment. Fires up her second, too strong, off back rim. Maya Shai gets the rebound, pushes it to Alana Wells. Clock winds down, she got it up in time, but it was off left. And as we come to the first half, the Greyhounds are trailing by 6 to the Maryville Saints. They've had a pretty solid game, but the Greyhounds are on fire from 3, Jace.
Yeah, they sure are. The Greyhounds have hit more threes than they usually do in a game, but Maryville right up to the task today.
And as we head into the break, we'll take one with them. Once again, 40-34 for the Saints. You are watching UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
looks like an opportunity, one to be seized, built upon, and made better for their sport and the people around it. To student athletes, every opportunity is a chance to change what could be and show the world what opportunity can do.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30, touchdown. Michaela burns it.
An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30, touchdown. Michaela burns it.
An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Wow, that's so many memories, I would say. I think the things that when my teammates and I get together, what we enjoy the most, I think, are just all the stories, all the things that happen between us playing against some of the best schools. You know, we played some Division I schools. We beat Eastern Illinois twice. A thrill for a Division II school to go in and to beat a Division I school. And I think we remember, you know, feeling like kind of the David versus Goliath. And that's what I think we realized, if you can come together as a group, you know, that you can have success. Well, I think any competitive person, it's tough. But I still look at it today. You know, it's been 30 years since I played competitive basketball, and in the business world and the education world, you lose, and things happen, and you go back to your playing days, and you got knocked down, and you got to get back up. So that was kind of our mantra. To have dreams. I just, as a little kid, I had dreams that I wanted to do something athletically, you know, and basketball was my passion. And so I don't care what it is, do something that you like, that you're passionate about. That to me is the most important thing, and then work to achieve it. And if you work hard enough at it, I think your dreams can come true, even when people tell you it'll never happen. And that to me was kind of the David versus Goliath thing. Yeah, and it's a cliche, but I do think life is a game. Life is a competition. And I think I was prepared because I competed in college, and I say the same thing to people. You kind of those same attributes. You have to work hard, you have to practice what you want to do, and you have to believe in yourself, and you have to have those dreams, and you put that package together, and I think it's a pretty good package for success. Hi, I'm Larry Tucker. I'm a former NCAA student athlete from Lewis University.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team on my campus and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II.
We are back here in Indianapolis. It's currently halftime, 40-34. The Saints are winning against the UINDY Greyhounds. So, Jace, up to this point, what are some differences that you've seen from these teams?
So I think for Maryville, you know, their energy, they've been more of a fast-paced team. It matches up well with UINDY because they're both fast-paced teams. But you can tell from early on that energy off of the bench. You know, they're constantly clapping, yelling, causing some problems on the UINDY offensive end. But then for the Hounds, they've been able to shoot the ball really well. Although they are down by 6, they are shooting the ball at a pretty good rate, especially from behind the arc.
And you talked about that energy on the bench. The Greyhounds aren't used to seeing other teams bring energy like that. That's usually a trademark of this UINDY team. They are very, very high energy. So to have someone else come into your house with the energy that Maryville's brought tonight might have been a little bit of a shock for Mark Mitchell's team here.
It definitely has been, because we haven't seen that same energy from the Hounds tonight. You know, from the get-go, Maryville provided that energy, and UINDY just really hasn't been able to match it. But we'll see what they can provide here in the second half. Here we go.
Third quarter is underway. They fire right to Caroline Jakaitis. Now Mullins up to Sadie Hill, looking for Jakaitis down low, but it's not there. Pick and roll from Alani Williams-Harris to Sadie Hill. Finds a cutting Jakaitis. She puts it up right hand, a little bit too strong. Looks good, but fell out. Now it's Hayden Pitch. She found Hunter Stidham, who wastes no time putting the Saints on the board in the second half. Mark down 3 for her.
And she got the ball while in rhythm, running right in rhythm. She'll knock down that shot time and time again against any team.
That gives her 8 on the day, so a pretty solid outing for herself. Sadie Hill looked to go cross court to Jody Mullins, and a great tiptoe by Jody Mullins, keeping that ball inbounds. Liv Becker fired to Sadie Hill. Sadie Hill found Jody Mullins cutting down the middle. Great pass and great touch from Jody Mullins to get it to go.
Yeah, Mullins found that space, you know, allowed Sadie Hill to see her finding that space and got the open little floater to go.
Here we see Hayden Pitch. Jakaitis switches onto her. She lobs it up to Taylor Kirby. Great pass and a great roll from Taylor Kirby as she puts up easy 2.
Some great passing to begin the half from both sides here. 2 great finds back-to-back on both ends.
And Carson Fearday reached in on Alani Williams-Harris. The Maryville crowd here did not agree with that call, but the ref saw a hand hit wrist that time. Jody Mullins taking the ball out. And what do you think that UINDY needs to do to get back into this ball game? They just haven't been able to get over the hump here.
So something that they often do is get in the paint like they are right now. They've had the shots today. I think they need to keep attacking the paint like they are right there. Attack the paint, get the ball into your bigs.
And just as you said it, Liv Becker found Caroline Jakaitis down low. It's Fearday. She found Kirby wide open, cutting down the middle. Not something you want to see. And to no surprise, Mark Mitchell calls the timeout here after an easy 2 from the Saints. 47-38, Saints lead the Greyhounds in the third. Welcome back into Nickerson Hall. The Saints lead the Greyhounds 47-38, and they've come to Indianapolis with a pretty explosive offense. So far, they have 3 players in double figures, those being Carson Fearday, Antoinette Musarisi, that is, and then Stidham with 11 herself. So 3 great outings from them.
And those 3 players average double figures on the season. The only other player that hasn't reached double figures yet that averages double figures is Hayden Pitch, who currently is sitting at 2 points.
She gets the ball in the high post to Liv Becker, finds Jody Mullen. She pulls the trigger, and that one falls as she turns around and looks at her defender. Plays with a lot of attitude, Jody Mullins does.
She sure does, and nice knockdown 3. That's one of the parts of her games that she really, prides herself on, shooting the 3 ball well.
Now it's Pitch. Pitch goes up on Caroline Chikaitis. She got Chikaitis in the air, and it looks like she dragged her foot, and they will call it going the way of the Greyhounds. We've seen a lot of those calls today, travels and down low. They're really paying attention to that as Liv Becker gets it in the left corner, and we know that she is someone that can catch fire quick. She's had a couple off games, which for her take her 3-point average under 50, which is it's crazy to say that that's a low point for Liv Becker. She really, really has a clip from long range.
Sure does, and from long range today, UINDY 42% from behind the arc. Definitely a fantastic mark in any game.
They are 8 for 19 in the contest. Like you said, a great shooting split as Hunter Stidham inbounds it to Carson Fearday. Fearday found Kirby down low. Back to Fearday, 2-man action. She rolls out on the 15-foot jumper. And a loose ball foul is called on Taylor Kirby as she wrestled for the ball with Sadie Hill.
UINDY has a chance to possibly tie up the game once again. UINDY's gotten down by almost double figures twice now in the game, but both times they fought right back. There's no shortage of energy, and this team will fight till the end.
One thing about this team, they win as a team and they lose as a team. Whichever it may be, they are a unit. Here's Liv Becker. She finds Sadie Hill in the high post. Now Caroline Chikaitis. They try to get to Becker down low. She wasn't there. Sadie Hill will throw up a 3, though. That one falls just short. Fearday on the break. She had Pitch in the corner. Pitch drove it inside, and a foul was called on it looks like Caroline Chikaitis on the floor. Musarisi takes it out with 6:43 left in the third here. She gets it quickly into Kirby, and she finds Stidham in the corner. Great shot from her.
And you cannot leave Stidham open. I've said it twice now today. When she's open, she will knock it down.
And make that 4 scores for the Saints in double figures. Stidham with 11 on the day. And you saw Liv Becker fall on the floor there. It looks like a foul is going to be called on Antoinette Musarisi. Make that 3 fouls for the Greyhounds, 2 for Musarisi herself. Or check that for the Saints, not the Greyhounds. Lonnie Williams-Harris finds Liv Becker off the inbound. Liv Becker goes straight into Kirby, fumbled the ball, but picked it up herself. Great shot from her.
And
she's really come alive.
She has, and that's a good recovery, too. That gets her 13 points on the day. One of the problems for her, she has 3 personal fouls.
She is an aggressive player, no doubt, as they find Stidham. Not a person you want to see open if you're UINDY, but shot doesn't fall there. Falls to the hands of Kirby. Kirby tried to go up on Chikaitis, but no ma'am. However, the block will not count for Chikaitis. The travel was called prior to the shot. Nonetheless, a great defensive play.
Definitely. 2 defenders right up on her, not allowing her any space to get a shot off.
Jody Mullins will take it to Fearday. Now it's Sadie Hill on the right wing, looking for Mullins as she cuts off the Caroline Jacaitis screen. Jody Mullins takes her defender straight to the hoop, tried to throw up a floater, a little bit too strong. Wrestle for the rebound, jump ball is called. And the arrow points in the way of the Saints.
Good effort by the Hounds there, trying to corral that rebound down and to tie him up there to get the jump ball call.
Kaitlin Krebs checks in for the first time today alongside Alana Wells as Jody Mullins takes a step out with her teammate Liv Becker. And as we saw Mark Mitchell talking to Liv Becker right there, we really know that he's developing relationships on this team. He's not just a coach, he's a friend, he's a role model for this team. As the Maryville Saints look to create some offense, they drew a foul on the floor. Musarisi looks to take it out for the Saints.
We haven't seen much from Musarisi so far in the second half. UINDY's done a nice job of shutting her down.
And it was Stidham. Tried to go in on Sadie Hill, but Sadie Hill got the position. Great defensive play, drew a charge.
And Sadie Hill recognized Stidham coming right in at her at the paint and got her feet set to draw that charge.
Great awareness. Takes a lot of toughness. Takes some guts.
It's tough to stand right in front of someone coming right at you at full speed.
Alana Wells has a double screen from Krebs and Hill. They find Krebs at the top of the key. That's her game, but that one falls short.
Yeah, that is Krebs' game, 35% from the year from behind the arc.
Here's Fearday. Goes right into the Wells and scores through the contact. How about that from Fearday?
Yeah, Fearday will go right at anybody. Just like most of the players on this Maryville team, they are a very tough and aggressive team.
Alana Wells looked to find Krebs in the corner. Tipped away by this Saints defense, though. And with that, we will take a media timeout with the team. You are watching the UINDY Greyhounds and the Maryville Saints on the GLVC Sports Network.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
We resume here in the third, 52-46 in favor of the Saints. And we were just talking, the Greyhounds have been on the flip side of this game in what seems like 2 games now. What's the difference between this one and their last 2 outings?
So the last 2 outings, they kind of had this lead, like this, you can call it cruise control on, kind of, the constant 5 to 10 point advantage throughout the whole game. In the last 2 games, both games, the other team came back. One of them UINDY ended up pulling out. That was the one on Saturday. Let's see if UINDY can pull what their opponents did and stage a comeback here tonight.
If they could just stick around and make things close as time expires, could be a very, very fun game. Here's Caroline Jacaitis pulling up for 3 off right, but Sadie Hill gets the offensive board. And a foul called by the sideline official. That'll send Sadie Hill to the line.
And rebounding has been much better for the Greyhounds tonight. Rebounding has probably been the biggest weakness of the Greyhounds this season. Not putting much effort into boxing out, grabbing the rebounds, but you can see tonight they're putting a lot more effort into boxing out their defender and going up for those rebounds.
And we always get to talk to Coach Mark Mitchell after the game. Always enjoy it. One thing that he always harps on is the rebounding of the Greyhounds and their turnovers. Taking a look at it, their rebounding has been pretty solid today, but especially towards the beginning of the game, turnovers weren't looking too great. They have 8 at the moment, but they've cut down on that since the first quarter mark.
And here's this pressure from the Greyhounds that's caused opponents so much problems this year.
Alana Wells gets called for the foul. Looks like she tripped up the Saints player that time. They both kind of stumbled.
And you can see there, she's talking to the ref, kind of questioning that call. Not really too sure what the call was there.
And you might think that Mark Mitchell wanted to get her out of the game before she kind of got herself in trouble. Her and the referee were having a discussion, and they disagreed, to say the least. Now working through the Greyhound pressure is the Saints. It's with Weiss. Weiss goes into 2 UINDY defenders, throws it over Caroline Jakaitis to the corner, and it ends up in the hands of Musa Risi, who throws it up, falls in and out.
You can tell Maryville knew what they were doing, breaking that press down immediately. Pass, and they were out of the press.
Kaitlin Krebs in the corner. Now to Sadie Hill at the top of the key. Looking for somewhere to go. She finds Jakaitis, had position on her defender.
It was a nice find by Sadie Hill to get it into Jakaitis, put it right only where she could get it.
Sadie Hill to Alani Williams-Harris. They're swinging it around, looking for Sadie down low. Caroline Jakaitis throws the lob. Looks like a decent pass. Sadie Hill had her fingertips on it. It just fell out.
Just a tad bit too much oomph on the ball there. Sadie Hill just out of her reach.
And that's a tough pass to make because, like you said, you have to clear the defender and put it right in the pocket where she's not too far under the basket. Maya Scheidt gets called for the foul there as Musa Risi trying to take it down the left sideline.
Yeah, Scheidt was trying to kind of push her out of bounds a little bit, force her to the sideline. I think she did a little bit too much of it, though, and that will always be called a foul.
Musa Risi is perfect at the line up to this point.
And then she missed it. There you go.
Look, there's a little bit of strategy that goes into what you and me do, right, Jace?
Yeah.
Make that 5 for 6 on the day. She puts up her second, but that one falls. We can only do so much. Alani Williams-Harris to Kaitlin Krebs in the corner. Looking for Caroline Jakaitis down low as she works. But Sadie Hill takes it herself, goes right into the Saints defense, draws the foul, gets 2 opportunities at the charity stripe.
And if you let Sadie Hill go to the free throw line, she will feast all day long.
2 opportunities here. She has had a solid outing as always. Misses her first.
Jinxing it the opposite way now, huh?
Well, you can't say we're biased, right?
Yeah.
She has 10 at the moment, looking to make it 11. Add 4 rebounds to that with 3 assists and 2 steals.
So same result on both ends there. Missed free throw and then a made free throw. So we're right back where we were at, a 4-point advantage for the Saints.
And that's the thing. They get so close, but then the Saints just pull away, and it's like a game of cat and mouse almost. Now it's Fear Day. Fear Day with Scheid on her. She finds Stidham, who fakes left, goes right, and a travel was called as she tried to hop step. See, when you take that hop step, both your feet have to land at the same time.
You could tell it was boom, boom. There was 1 too many steps in there. I saw it from up here. That's going to be a travel call time and time again if you take that, that 2 steps when you land.
No doubt the referee saw it. So it'll be Alani Williams-Harris taking it up on Musa Risi, trying to get the Greyhounds in the lead once again. Jada Patton tried to go up on her defender, found Maya Scheidt in the corner. Alani Williams-Harris pumps right, pulls up, too strong. Here's Carson Fearday, now to Musa Risi. Musa Risi has 2 on her, back to Fearday on the right wing. Not too great of a pass, but she resets, and that one's too short. So with a little under 3, the Greyhounds are on the break. Alani Williams-Harris goes right up on Musa Risi, got trapped under the basket, hit the bottom of the backboard.
And Musa Risi forced her outside there. And on the other end, putting up an and 1. Musa Risi making plays on both ends.
It's crazy how she runs the floor, right? She was there on the defensive end to stop Alani Williams-Harris, and it seems like just 2 seconds later, she was on the opposite end of the floor, converting an and 1.
She is lightning quick right here. You can see her going right up on the defender, getting the and 1 to go, and back to the free throw line she goes.
It counted a converted and 1 for Antoinette Musa Risi. And now the lead is 7, right? It's been 2, 3, 7, 8. It's always been right in that zone. Greyhounds looking to fire. They get to Maya Scheidt. Scheidt pump fakes, finds Alani Williams-Harris, moving the ball around to Jada Patton. And the referee's going to say that she changed her pivot foot, sent it the other way.
And like you mentioned earlier, turnovers, something that UINDY's been doing a little bit better in this half, not committing as many turnovers, but right there a costly one as they have the chance to possibly extend the lead into double figures here.
It was Weiss that found Fearday. Fearday has Krebs on her. Stidham down to Kirby. Kirby works on Sadie Hill. She tried to lob it up for Moose Arisi, but the Greyhounds were all over it. And I'm sure that you could see it on the screen. I feel it's a pretty obvious offensive foul on Maya Scheidt. She pushed off trying to create space for herself. Not too subtle right there.
And you see that often in basketball, trying to get a little push off to create space, whether it be on a crossover or just in general. And that gets called more often than not.
And a lot of players are really great at, like I said, keeping it subtle, but right there it looks like a Derrick Henry stiff arm. That's Fearday. Fearday goes right into Scheidt. Now it's Weiss. Weiss to Kirby. Kirby goes to the middle, spins on Sadie Hill. Great move. What a move for two.
Yeah, that's a tough move to guard in general. That move, that can beat about any defender in this game.
It beat two UINDY defenders right there. Now the lead is 9 for the Saints. Greyhounds look to cut into that. Jada Patton takes her defender right to the sideline, and she caught the body of Stidham.
And that's the 4th foul on Stidham, so now she will check out of the game.
And if they were to lose Stidham in this game, that would be a tough loss for Brita Hand and the Saints team.
Yeah, one of their 4 double-figure scores on the afternoon so far, and she is a 3-point machine.
Jada Patton with 2 right here, puts up her first. That one falls.
I think for UINDY here, down by 8 with 1:15 left to go, they want to go on a little run to end out the quarter here, take some momentum going into that 4th quarter.
And that's a good start as Jada Patton hits her 2 free throws, that time at the line. And Jada Patton, she said that the Greyhounds love to have fun in the locker room, but when they're on the court, it's obvious that this team is all business. Fearday has Krebs on her, looking to extend their lead. Now to Kirby. Kirby finds a cutting teammate, and she puts it down. Great find there from Kirby.
And that was a great find to find Meehan wide open there. Meehan, a little cut into the paint. And what a find there.
Maya Scheidt uses a double screen. Now to Patton. Patton finds an open Idalise Ortiz, but the defense collapses on her. And once again, a Greyhound switched their pivot foot. Once again, it's turnovers. They're coming to bite this UINDY team. They have 11 on the day with 44 left in the 3rd.
Maryville here, they have the chance to take their first double-figure lead of the game. Largest lead of the day is 9 as it stands right now. Some points here would put it up to double figures for the first time in the afternoon.
Looks like they're going to go for one shot, leaving as least amount of time possible for the Greyhounds to fire back. Now it's pitch. Pitch down to Kirby, goes baseline up on Caroline Jakaitis, and you saw the frustration on Jakaitis' face. Just a great move. Not much you can do about it.
It's tough to guard, and Kirby's going right at him right now. Kirby's getting hot.
But there's Krebs, tried to fire to end the half. Wasn't to be. Alani Williams-Harris got in the way of Hayden pitch that time, poked the ball out of bounds. It'll be 2.1 seconds left here to play in the period.
And a good end of the quarter by Maryville to take a double-digit figure lead into the final period.
And they do get it in, and they'll just ride it out. No need to take an errant shot. And after 3 quarters of play, the UINDY Greyhounds still trail 51-62. The Saints are starting to pull away. And with that, you are watching UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UINDY TV News.
In Indianapolis, 62-51, Saints are leading the Greyhounds, and it is 3 players on Maryville leading the charge for this Saints team. Martez Ansonet, Musa Risi, Carson Fearday, and Hunter Stidham, it looks like, alongside Taylor Kirby. I mean, these are some stat sheet stuffers, right? Musa Risi has 15, 3, and 5. Kirby with 15, 5, and 4. And Fearday with 14, 6, and 6. I mean,
and those 3 players that you just mentioned, all of them are seniors. So this team is full of experience. You know, they've been here time and time again getting these stat lines.
And as Liv Becker hits the wood, foul was called on the Saints.
And for Fearday, she has 6 assists. That actually ties her career high. 6 assists, so 1 more for her, and she will have gotten her career high in assists.
Great days of distributing her, no doubt. As they find Sadie Hill off the inbound, she picked up her dribble, though, nowhere to go. She does find Alana Wells. They get it right back to Sadie Hill. And she finds Alani Williams-Harris in the opposite corner, and she puts it up, and it rattles in. Could be a spark.
And picking up where she left off in the first quarter, where she was 3 for 3 from behind the arc. It's her first one since then.
Now Fearday with Becker on her. And move it around, and it's Pitch who throws up her 3. Too strong. But on the rebound, there was a loose ball foul, and it's called on Alana Wells, and she cannot believe it, to say the least. She cannot believe it. And with that foul, that gives her 4 on the day, so you can understand why that wouldn't be accepted very nicely. An offensive foul drawn there by the Greyhounds. Send it the Greyhounds away. It's a tough play, but that's a momentum swinger. Plays like that take away possession from the team in the lead, could change the game.
Sure can. And right after a 3-point shot made, you know, this momentum could quickly change. And this could be, the opposite of what we saw on Thursday and Saturday, where UINDY held the lead for most of the game and came back. Maybe UINDY this time is going to be the team that comes back on Maryville.
Now Alana Wells. She uses a double screen. That's something the Greyhounds love to do a lot. They fire from high post to low post. Edalise to Sadie Hill, and Sadie Hill goes up and she scores.
And Sadie Hill has a quiet 13 points tonight. Very quiet 13 points. But she has been there on the court tonight, making her presence known, and the foul must have been called there on the Greyhounds.
And we say a quiet 13 because she's really held to a super high standard, being the leading scorer on this Greyhound team.
I think a technical foul must have been called there on the Greyhounds. Something happened after the fact on Sadie Hill's shot.
And man, that just kills you as a team. You're working to get back into this game after being down for the heavy majority. It's a 6-point deficit right now. And with this free throw, Musa Risi makes it 7, has another chance at the line, and they will get the ball back.
Definitely just a momentum killer. You got back in the game once again. You hit all the momentum on your side once and for all, and a technical foul is definitely not what you want to do in that situation. So lead back up to 8 for the Saints.
Now it's Fearday as this UINDY crowd gets into it, rallies behind their troops. Kirby now at the top of the key, looking inside, but nothing was there. Great stand here by UINDY. They tried to feed it into Kirby, but Hill is going to be called for a foul on the entry pass. And it was a great defensive stand up to that point, getting some energy finally, but a foul called.
It was a really good stand there, but fouling is becoming a slight problem for the Greyhounds here. It's a few fouls in a row, you know, taking away some of that energy out of the crowd and their team.
Now it's Musarisi. Gets it to Kirby. She fires it cross court to Fearday. Fearday finds a cutting Kirby. Good bounce pass, tipped by Greyhound now. And she will be called for a 3-second violation inside. And even after the foul that was drawn by the Saints, UINDY gets the ball back with no harm done.
You can tell that UINDY still believes they can come back and win this game. And what would be a very huge win if they can pull it off and move them to 5-4 in conference play and move Maryville down to 5-4 as well.
And we talked in the pregame about how important these conference games are, and we're all catching the drift of the energy, the intensity in it from both teams. Idalise Ortiz working in the post. Haven't seen a lot from her today, but we know she can score. Doesn't get it to go there. However, it's Liv Becker with the hustle play, draws a loose ball foul. Looks like it's going to go on Hayden Pitch of the Saints as she checks out.
And Liv Becker's had a really good night off the bench tonight. 13 points and 3 assists and 3 rebounds to go along with those 13 points. Liv Becker's had a really good impact on this Greyhound team tonight.
And they get it right to her. Here she is. She goes towards the middle. Fakes, pushes. Yeah, it did look like she pushed off on Carson Fearday there. Pushed her right over, elbow extended and all.
Yeah, when you have that arm extended going into a player, more often than not, that will be called on the offensive player.
And that gives Liv Becker 4 on the day with that offensive foul. So some foul trouble here for the Greyhounds.
Stidham and Pitch both with 4 for the Saints. Wells and Becker 4 for the Greyhounds.
Sadie Hill has 3 as well, so something to watch there. Could be down to a couple lineups these teams don't see a whole lot. Kirby gets the offensive rebound, and Scheidt picks it up. Scheidt goes in. Looks like she was going to pull, but she wasn't there. Now Sadie Hill. They're giving her space. She elects not to take it, though. It's Idalise Ortiz working in there, but she was too far under the backboard, went up, had nowhere to go, through a turnover.
And then once again, a foul called on the Greyhounds here. Like I said a little bit ago, fouls are racking up very quickly. Maryville already in the bonus.
And with 7:20, those fouls, when you get into the bonus early like this, that's not something that helps you if you want to get back into this game, because free throws, I mean, they're just easy points. And like we said, both of these teams are very efficient from the free throw line. And as I say that, it was Taylor Kirby missing her second. Alani Williams-Harris, though. She's working on offense. She's found her shot today. Elects not to take it. Now it's Sadie Hill in the low post, going up on Kirby, but it was blocked. And Jody Mullins came down with the rebound, but there was a fight for possession ending in a jump ball. Now it's Alani Williams-Harris picking up her assignment full court. Weiss picks her dribble up. And they get to the middle of the floor, put it up with the left hand, just rims out. Greyhounds are pushing the pace. They know they're down here as Maya Scheidt threw up the layup, drew the foul, sent her to the line, and when you're getting back to the game, free throws on your part, on your side of the floor, they are a big help.
Yeah, free throws, for the Greyhounds, best team in the GLVC. On those, gonna be very huge to possibly stage a comeback here today.
Maya Scheidt about average from the line, shooting about 71%. She does miss her second, however, right there. Musa Reese really started off this game hot for the Saints, and since then, Fearday has really scored a lot. Stidham scored a lot. Kirby's been an offensive monster. Go right there. They turn it over as Alani Williams-Harris pushes it up the floor. However, they bring it back. Nothing was there. She ran into a 2-on-4, as it seems. My shot looking to get it down to Ortiz. She does. Ortiz goes up on her defender, and she does draw the foul, sending her to the strike.
Yeah, UINDY attacking Maryville now, going right into the bodies of them, trying to draw those fouls, to get to the free throw line where they are so efficient from.
And you say this is an efficient free throw shooting team. However, Idalise Ortiz isn't the highlight of this free throw shooting offense. She's about 50% on the year.
But percentages don't matter when it comes to moments like this right here, in the clutch. If you can knock them down, it's all that matters.
Like you're right. It's a completely different situation from a first quarter free throw and a fourth quarter free throw. And big time players step up and make big time plays as Ortiz knocks down her first. Knocks down her second. No question about that one either. (59-65). 2-possession game for the Saints.
UINDY once again cutting into this lead, but can they really, stage the comeback that they've been trying to stage the entire game, get that lead once and for all.
And Jody Morris tried to cut in there, cut the passing lane, but it was Carson Fearday that went right into the UINDY defender, and this UINDY crowd is hyped up after that foul was drawn.
UINDY once again getting that momentum back on their side, something they've had a few times in this game, but the last time they had it, a few fouls went against them, and the crowd kind of hushed down again. But right here, they have a chance to really get this crowd riled up here.
And the bucket here will just do that. It's Jody Mullins. She goes right up on 2, and that one falls. And like we said, this place explodes here in Indianapolis.
4-point game, 5 to go. Clutch moments like this can decide a lot in the regular season.
And Musa Reese lost the ball, but it will stay with the Saints. Down here, a whole new energy with this Greyhound team as we close in on 5 minutes left to play. It is Musa Reese. She has Shai and Alani Williams-Harris on her. She gets trapped in the corner, and a timeout is called by Brita Hand as she had nowhere to go. Greyhounds look to close the gap. Currently 65-61. Saints are in the lead as we take a break here on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UINDY TV News.
Back in Indianapolis in what has become a very tight game. 4-point lead now held by the Saints, but UINDY is coming for it.
UINDY right in the mix in this game now, down by 4, trying to stage the comeback that their two opponents did against them on Thursday and Saturday. One of those games UINDY did end up pulling out. That was the one on Saturday, a close win there.
And there we get a look at Graham Shear. He's a very active member here at UINDY TV, and love to have him on the roster. We'll talk about 2 rosters here. 2 full rosters dealing with some foul trouble, as we talked about before the break.
Yeah, we now have one player that has fouled out, and that is Meehan for Maryville. Hasn't played much this game, but does have 5 fouls now and has fouled out of this game.
here at Stidham. Stidham goes right into the heart of the UIndy defense, and once again, an offensive foul is drawn by Sadie Hill. I said it earlier, I'll say it again. Big-time players make big-time plays when the lights shine bright. With 5 minutes left to play, the Greyhounds have possession of the basketball.
And that is the 5th foul now on Stidham, so she has now fouled out as well for the Saints. So the Saints now without 2 of their main players.
A very key piece on offense and defense was Stidham. She was a 3-point threat. She has a block and a steal on the game. Big loss.
Now some discussion from the referees possibly about that foul.
Mark Mitchell huddles the girls over. And it's understandable the Maryville Saints are frustrated with the way it was called. It looks like the referees will take a minute to review.
I think there's a technical, must have been called there on Maryville after that call.
There definitely was some high tension, some high emotions there after that foul. Definitely a swinging call in the game. Could swing things in favor of the Greyhounds. However, though, unable to capitalize on the first is Sadie Hill. But she does hit on the second. Greyhounds will retain possession after the technical.
And it is now a 1-possession game here at Nickerson Hall.
And a 1-possession game, right? They stuck around. They were there. They would fall really close, and
this is where they've been time and time again. So can they finally close that gap? They have a chance to do so right here. 3 ties it up, or a 2 cuts it to a 1-point game.
And they're going right into Sadie Hill. There was nowhere to go, though, with Kirby on her. Alani Williams-Harris pulls it with no hesitation, puts it up, it's down. The Greyhounds have tied the game.
And that's the shot that they've been missing the entire game. You know, they have that shot to tie the game. Finally, they knock it down, and it is all tied up. 4:30 left to play.
Defense chants ringing here from the Greyhounds as Mussolini takes her free throw line extended jumper, and it won't fall. In and out.
And UIndy has a chance to take their first lead of the game since it was 3-2 in the first quarter.
Jody Mullins will be the handler this possession.
10 to shoot.
Taking a lot of time here as Maya Scheidt gets to the top of the key. Uses a screen from Sadie Hill. Get it back to Sadie. Sadie takes it, gives it to Idalise Ortiz, and that one was too strong.
I think they took a little bit too long there on the possession to get, play set up.
Musa Risi has Alani Williams-Harris. And now they reset themselves with Fearday at the point.
Both teams taking their time now. They understand how big these moments are here with just under 4 to play.
Once again, it's Fearday using a screen from Kirby. They get down to Musa Risi, who went straight up in the teeth of the UIndy defense. Clutch basket there, puts them up by 2.
And that's the person you get the ball to. Your leading scorer on the season, Musa Risi, and that's just the person they're going to go to time and time again. She has 19 points tonight.
And as the clock ticks down here in the fourth quarter, Mark Mitchell elects to take a timeout, and we will take a break alongside them. This is UIndy TV and the UIndy TV and the GLVC Sports Network, that is. We're back in the heat of action. Saints have a lead 67-65 right after the Greyhounds tied it in a game that they've been down for the heavy majority of the time.
And how about this 3-game homestand from the Greyhounds? All games were close here. Some very high-intensity games here. This 3-game homestand, they're 1-1 so far. They have one more home game coming up on, I believe it is Tuesday.
It's Alana Wells. Goes away from a screen from Sadie Hill. Sadie Hill gets the ball down to Idalise Ortiz in the low post. Sadie Hill's wide open for 3, but she elects not to take it. It's Alani Williams-Harris. She uses the screen from Ortiz. Working on her defender. It's Maya Scheidt with 3 left on the shot clock. Puts it up off back iron. But a foul is called on the rebound on Abby Weiss. Great hustle play there from Idalise Ortiz as she goes to the line.
You can see Weiss kind of undercut Ortiz there as she's going for the rebound. That foul usually get called, as a loose ball foul. Also going back to that, UINDY's next game is actually Wednesday. That game will be against Missouri St. Louis.
Idalise Ortiz leaves one at the line, though. Not something you want to see down by 2 with 3 minutes left. Hoping to convert on her second. Shots up. And no doubt she does put it down. 66-67, Greyhounds show by 1. Carson Fearday will be tasked with running the offense here under 3 minutes. And she throws the ball off Maya Scheidt's foot. Faked as she was going to use the screen from Taylor Kirby. Goes the other way. I think Maya Scheidt's kind of lucky that ball hit off her foot.
Definitely lucky. There was a person there that could have gotten the ball open, but see what UINDY can do on defense here. Try to get this ball back down by 1.
It's pitched with Mullins on her. Pitch uses a screen from Kirby. But she gets locked down, nothing there. It's Musa Risi as she throws up a step back jumper. She was looking for a foul, but it's not there.
Yeah, I think that shot was tipped, so a nice save by Sadie Hill, to keep the ball alive there. 2:30 left to play.
Jody Mullins goes right into the middle, goes up, left it too short, but Idalise Ortiz gets the second chance and makes it count. Greyhounds are up by 1.
First lead since it was 3-2, and the Greyhounds now find the lead. And something they've been looking for the entire game. They came back time and time again, and once and for all, they have taken the lead back.
The story of this game is getting over the hump for the Greyhounds, and they have finally done it. They find themselves in the lead, as you said, for the first time since the wee moments of this game.
And another good defensive possession by the Greyhounds, forcing another turnover by the Saints. And now UINDY has a chance to slow down on offense.
Jody Mullins here. Mark Mitchell directing the offense. They try to get down to Idalise Ortiz. Wasn't there. The Saints got a hand on it. They lead a 3-on-2 break. It's Weiss going right at Sadie Hill, throwing it up with the left hand, and it was no good. But Kirby gets the rebound, puts it up, and that one falls out as well. And after a foul is called, it will go to the Greyhounds. Great job on the fast break, somehow winning a 2v3.
And some questionable plays on both ends by both teams. That pass inside to Ortiz, there was 2 defenders all over her, got stolen away. And then on the other end, Weiss there went right at her defender, even though she had 2 players on both of her sides that could have gotten the ball and had an open shot.
And since we are in the bonus, the double bonus, it is, Sadie Hill will go to the line. She puts up her first, and that one falls. A clutch free throw, extending the lead to 2 for the Greyhounds. If she hits this, it would give the Greyhounds a 3-point lead. And she does, a 3-point cushion for the Greyhounds. It's Weiss. She pushes up the floor. Now with Fearday, she looks to set up something to get the Saints back into the lead. And it's Maya Scheidt that comes up with the steal. She finds Jody Mullins on the break, goes up with a right hand over Musa Risi, give the Greyhounds a 5-point lead with 1:15 left in the ballgame.
Making plays on both ends is what it's all about for this Greyhound team. They do it time and time again.
And it was Kirby that won up at Sadie Hill, and it's Maya Scheidt that brings down the rebound. They bring 2 defenders to Scheidt, but she does get the ball away to Williams-Harris.
And Maya Scheidt with a steal, and then that nice move to get the ball and pass it over to Alani Williams-Harris.
And now Maryville foul, sending Alani Williams-Harris to the line. And it was Alani Williams-Harris that kept this team in the game when it looked like things were going really tough in the first part of the game.
And look at that stat line right there. 15 points, 5 of 7 from 3-point range, 2 assists. She has really given this team the boost that was needed tonight.
And here it is at the line. She hits probably what might be her most important shot of the night. She does miss her second. Make that a 6-point lead, still a 2-possession game that the Saints have to overcome. They do throw up a 3, but it's too strong. A scramble for the ball, but it will stick with the Saints.
Maryville looked a little bit desperate there. Weiss immediately pulling the 3 as soon as she got to the arc.
Just trying not to waste any time, but it's important that good shots are taken. They get it into Kirby. Kirby has a wide open lane. She goes in to Idalise Ortiz, and what do you know? The UIndy Greyhounds draw a charge once again. Difference makers in a close game.
That's been the story of this fourth quarter, have been those charges. They've been, you know, the guts of this team that keep taking these charges, you know, it hurts. Those charges hurt. They go right into you, you know.
And we took a look at that Greyhound bench, and they were fired up. Fired up. High energy plays like that got UIndy back into this game and that have UIndy up in a close matchup. Now it's Alani Williams-Harris off the inbounds from Maya Scheidt. And the Saints force a steal. They do. They get it. They got it to Carson Fearday. She put up a 3. That one was no good. A scramble for the ball. They're going to take a look at this one.
And Sadie Hill also having a good night tonight. 16 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Her and Alani Williams have really been, you know, what has put this team in the 6-point advantage right now.
And Alani Williams-Harris being a junior, Sadie Hill a senior, some experience of their own on this Greyhound team. And with that, as they're taking a look, we'll take a break. You're watching UIndy TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
We come back here in Indianapolis. A very close game throughout. Currently a 6-point lead held by the Greyhounds with 35 left in the ball game. They get into Sadie Hill. Back to Maya Scheidt trying to break the press. They find Sadie Hill once again. 3 defenders on her, down to Jody Mullins. She'll take it up and extend the lead to 8 for the Greyhounds. Might be the cherry on top.
And yeah, that might be that for the Greyhounds. They may have just put out a very clutch win in the GLVC play here.
And Alani Williams-Harris went for the steal, and now she holds her hand. We hope everything is all right there as Maya Scheidt gets fouled by Taylor Kirby and will go to the line. You got to think these free throws ice the game.
Yeah, 2 makes here makes it a 3-possession game. I think 2 makes here should end the game. 1 miss, and it could be a little bit interesting here.
1 miss, as you said, leaves it a 2-possession game, so doable in 13 seconds. Not probable, but doable. 2 here makes it 3, and that's a hill to overcome, to say the least.
And Scheidt, 71% on the year.
She puts it up, and that one's off back rim.
So Maryville's still alive here. You know, we've seen crazier things in basketball games, whether it be the NBA or whether it be anything in college. These games can, anything can happen.
And 2 missed important free throws there by Scheidt. Brita Hand takes the timeout as we go to break. This is UIndy TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UIndy TV News.
Back in Nickerson Hall, 75-70 with 13 left. Saints have the ball and a hill to overcome, but it's doable.
It's definitely doable. You hit a 3 here, and this is a brand new ball game.
Here they look to inbound it. They get to Musarisi. Now to Fearday. Fearday goes right in on Wells, looks into the corner. That's Hayden pitch as she throws up her three. It was off right as Alana Wells takes it down the court to ice the game, and what a game it was. How about these Greyhounds? No quit.
What a big win for the Greyhounds. You know, winning this game, moving to 9-8 on the season. Greyhounds get the very clutch win. 9-8 on the season, 5-4 now in GLVC play. As the Saints fall to 10-6 and 5-4 as well in GLVC play. The men's team is coming up next here on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network. Caden is currently hustling down to get the interview from head coach Mark Mitchell, so he'll be up here shortly. But player of the game for the Greyhounds, definitely Sadie Hill and Lonnie Williams-Harris, definitely an even amount there. They both put in a great effort tonight. And now we are going to get ready to throw it down there momentarily. Now we will go ahead and throw it down to Caden Colford on the sideline with head coach Mark Mitchell.
You got Tennessee, Georgia.
Georgia, easily, man.
Come on, Tennessee's 8.5-point dogs. Easiest spread of all time.
How?
Because they're good, and Georgia's played nobody.
At least Georgia has a defense.
Oh, come on. You're an IU fan. Your opinion doesn't matter.
My opinion doesn't matter. The only thing you know as a Purdue fan is how to lose to a 15 seed in the March Madness tournament.
We're bowl eligible, my guy. Are you? Make sure to tune in to Last Call Monday nights. We'll talk about Division I football, give you plenty of UINDY sports, some interviews in there as well, and then plenty of pro sports, whether it be NFL, MLB, the whole shebang.
Yeah, and there's at least one guy that knows what he's talking about.
And that will be all from the women's game. The men's team is coming up next here on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network. They are also up against Maryville. The men's team coming off a huge win against UMSL. 11th ranked UMSL, UINDY ranked the 24th in the nation. But that will do it for me and Caden Colford. Thank you to Finch there and everyone else on the cameras. And that'll do it for me here on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.